and say, well, we couldn't even do that back then, but now this is a part of our life, like the way we use Reddit or Twitter or Facebook today?
There are still so many instances where the relationship we have with the internet is kind of forced, right? It's still like it's a device that we turn on. I think 10 or 15 years down the road, it's going to be a lot more seamless. And what that's going to mean is, is certainly for the generation of people, and I extol this in the book, and I talk about it, I'm going to talk about it every one of my 75 university stops on the tour, is that if you can write the code, if you are a programmer, if you have that skill, this century is yours for the taking. And as Mark Andreessen said, software is eating the world. And so I think the internet and software is going to become a bigger and bigger part of all of our lives.
Now, Reddit has, and you'll disagree perhaps, but at least a reputation for appealing to, shall we say, a slightly geeky demographic. A lot of young men who call themselves Redditors. Now, maybe that's not fair, but I'm sure you would agree that you would like Reddit to have a greater reach. How can you do that?
Well, I'll tell you, so we just broke 80 million unique visitors a month. So that is larger than the country of France in terms of population. So the user base is massive. And I was actually really heartened. A recent Pew study actually put Hispanics at about 11% of Reddit usage across other social media channels. So we have what is already a rather diverse community of 80 million plus. But, the thing that's going to keep pushing this forward and get us to the scale of Twitter, which is about 3 or 4 times Reddit size, is simply getting people onto these subreddits, getting people to realize that if they live in Brooklyn, there's an amazing Brooklyn subreddit. If they're Nets fans, there's a great Nets subreddit. If they go to the University of Georgia, there's a great subreddit for that too.
We only have 15 seconds, and I want to ask you about the Boston bomber hunt and how Reddit users wrongly identified several people as possible suspects. I'm going to have to ask you to write it up, and I'll put it on my blog. And as we know, the internet is a just as good substitute for television. So thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. The book is Without Their Permission, How the 21st Century Will Be Made, Not Managed. Alexis Ohanian, thank you so much, and good luck with your book.
Thank you.
Next, how Hollywood has handled government